Hello students, I'm Shobha from the Department of English, Government National College Sirsa, and this lecture has been prepared for BA Second, and I will read the poem The World is Too Much With Us. This poem is prescribed in the syllabus of CDLU for the students of BA2. The world is too much with us. This poem is written by William Wordsworth, who is known as a poet of nature. Wordsworth is known as a romantic poet. He has written his poetry in the phase which is known as Romantic Age. In fact, the Romantic Age was started when William Wordsworth and Coleridge collaboratively published uh, the lyrical ballads in 1798. Apart from being a poet, William Wordsworth is also known as a critic and as a theorist who has given his poetic theory, in which he has told that the language of poetry should be the language of common man. He defined poetry as spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. His works include lyrics, odes, sonnets, verse tales, and other reflective poems. He is today known for his ode on intimations of immortality, the prelude, daffodils, and Tintern Abbey. He is a poet who is remembered for his attachment with nature. The poem which we are going to discuss in this lecture is The World is Too Much With Us, which is one of the many excellent sonnets written by Wordsworth, and he wrote this poem in 1800s. And because Wordsworth was a poet of nature, so he was grieved when he looked that people are becoming materialistic and they are losing their faith in the nature. Uh, so, as a lamentation of that routine or that lifestyle, he has written this poem. We can say that this is an reaction of William Wordsworth to the modern lives. Modern means his contemporary life. In this poem, Wordsworth recalls the civilization when it was very close to nature. We will read this poem line from the first line to the last line, and we are starting it here. इस पोएम में हम पढ़ेंगे कि किस तरीके से वर्ड्सवर्थ जो बढ़ रहा भौतिकतावाद का जाल है उसको क्रिटिसाइज़ कर रहे हैं आधुनिक जीवन में। आधुनिक का मतलब उस समय की जो परिस्थितियाँ थी, उस समय में कैसे मटीरियलिज़म बढ़ रहा था, भौतिकतावाद बढ़ रहा था। तो वर्ड्सवर्थ सेज, I am reading the text. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay vast our powers, little we see in nature that is ours. कहते हैं वर्ड्सवर्थ कि भौतिकतावाद हमारे साथ बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है। वी आर टू मच विद अस, द वर्ल्ड इज़ टू मच विद अस, संसार हमारे बहुत ज़्यादा साथ है। लेट एंड सून, चाहे हम कहीं भी हों, लेट हों, जल्दी हों या कहीं भी हों, भौतिकतावाद बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है। गेटिंग एंड स्पेंडिंग विल ए वास्ट आवर पावर्स, या तो प्राप्त करने में या फिर उसको खर्च करने में हम अपनी शक्तियाँ बर्बाद कर रहे हैं। लिटल वी सी इन नेचर, लिटल वी सी इन नेचर दैट इज़ ऑर्स, हम कभी नहीं देखते कि प्रकृति में हमारा क्या है, यानी हम बिल्कुल इग्नोर कर रहे हैं। वी आर इग्नोरिंग नेचर, वी आर नॉट लुकिंग एट द नेचर, वी आर गिविंग नो हीड टू नेचर इन द वर्ड्स ऑफ we have given our hearts away, so did bone, the sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. The sentence is over here. वर्ड्सवर्थ कहते हैं, वी हैव गिवन आवर हार्ट्स अवे, हमने अपने दिल दूर कर लिए हैं। ए सॉर्डिड बोन, एंड इट इज़ ए वेरी बैड थिंग, इट इज़ ए बैड कॉज फॉर अस, हमारे लिए ये एक बुरा अभिशाप है कि हमने अपने दिल प्रकृति से दूर कर लिए हैं। द सी दैट बेयर्स हर बोजम टू द मून, जो समुद्र अपनी छाती को चंद्रमा के सामने उघाड़ लेता है। द विंड्स दैट बी होलिंग एट ऑल आवर्स, जो पूरे दिन हवा शोर मचाती हुई चलती हैं। एंड आर अप गैदर्ड नाउ, और अब जो सिमट कर बैठ गई है। लाइक स्लीपिंग फ्लावर्स, जैसे फूल सो रहे हों उस तरीके से हवा बैठ गई हैं। फॉर दिस, फॉर एवरीथिंग, वी आर आउट ऑफ ट्यून, we do not see these things. These things means which has discussed before a minute, the facts that the sea that bears her bosom to the moon, and the wind which have been howling all the day, and now it is up gathered now like sleeping flowers, but we have no time to look at these things. फॉर एवरीथिंग वी आर आउट ऑफ ट्यून, ना सिर्फ इसके लिए बल्कि प्रकृति की हर एक चीज़ के लिए हम आउट ऑफ ट्यून हो चुके हैं। वी आर नॉट इन हार्मनी विद नेचर, प्रकृति के साथ हमारा सामंजस्य नहीं है। इट मूव्स अस नॉट, और इस बात का हम पे कोई फ़र्क भी नहीं पड़ता है कि हम प्रकृति से दूर हो गए हैं, इस बात का हमारे ऊपर कोई असर नहीं पड़ता है। इट इज़ पॉइंटलेस फॉर अस। नाउ वी हैव ग्रोन सो मटेरियलिस्टिक दैट द नेचर हैज़ बिकम पॉइंटलेस फॉर अस, एंड the distance from nature never moves us. We never think that it is a matter of concern that we have gone away from nature. हमारे लिए ये चिंता ही नहीं है कि हम प्रकृति से दूर हो गए हैं। Now look at the word meanings which have gone in the paragraph. Little means not, it's a negative word. Little, not, sordid, bad, bone, curse, abhishap, bosom, chest, छाती, howling, making noise, out of tune, ट्यून से बाहर मतलब सामंजस्य नहीं होना, आउट ऑफ ट्यून, लिए नहीं बैठा पाना। Now look at the poem. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay vast our powers, little we see in nature that is ours, that we have grown materialistic, and we are wasting our powers in getting and spending. We never see what is ours in nature. Our hearts are away from nature, and this is very bad cause for mankind. We never see that the sea uh, bears her bosom to the moon, and the wind is howling all the times, and now it is sitting like flowers, but we have no time to see these things, and we are out of tune. We have no harmony uh, with nature, and these things never moves us. We have become such heartless that these things never moves us. Now let us look at the next paragraph in the poem. And Wordsworth says, "Great God," he recalls God. "Great God, I had rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on the pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn." Wordsworth is saying that we it makes no difference for us that whether uh, we are away from nature or we are close to nature, and now he praying to God that it is better if I would have been a pagan. Pagan were those people who were worshipper of the nature, and वर्ड्सवर्थ वांट्स टू बी वन ऑफ देम। और कहते हैं वर्ड्सवर्थ कि मैं पैगन होता, काश मैं पैगन होता। सक्कल्ड होता है पाला पोसा गया, जिसको एक पुराने धर्म में पाला गया होता। सो माइट आई स्टैंडिंग ऑन द प्लीजेंटली, और इस तरीके से मैं इस चरागाह, जो बड़े बड़े मैदान होते हैं तो पशुओं के चरने के लिए, दे आर कॉल्ड प्लीजेंटली, एंड स्टैंडिंग ऑन द प्लीजेंटली हैव ग्लिम्पसेस, तब मैं देखता, ये दृश्य देखता, दैट वुड मेक मी लेस फॉरलॉर्न, जो कि मुझे बुलाया गया नहीं बनाते। हैव साइट ऑफ प्रोटियस राइजिंग फ्रॉम द सी, और मैं गॉड प्रोटियस को देखता समुद्र से उठते हुए, या फिर देवता ट्रीटन को देखता जो कि अपना कुंडलदार शंख बजा रहे होते थे। What Wordsworth is saying in these lines, he prays to God that it is better if I would have been a pagan and I would have been suckled in an outdated creed, in a outdated religion, and if it would have been so I would have the opportunity to stand by the sea and to look at the sea, and there I would have seen the god Proteus and the god Triton, who is blowing the horn. Means in these lines Wordsworth is uh, recalling uh, the pagan creed, and he desired to be one of the pagans. Let us have a look upon the word meanings if it is not clear to the students. Pagan are the people who were the worshippers of nature. Suckle mean to upbring, palna posla, outworn, outdated. ली मीन्स meadows, चरागाह जिसको कहते हैं, ग्लिम्प्स अ लुक, फॉरलॉर्न फॉरगॉटन भुलाया गया, प्रोटियस मैसेंजर ऑफ सी, ए गॉड ऑफ सी, रीड्ड सर्कल और राउंड गोल घुमा हुआ, हॉर्न शंख को बोलते हैं, शंख को, ए म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट बजाने का। तो दीज आर दी वर्ड मीनिंग्स So what we have studied in this poem, that this poem or the latter part of the poem is uh, a retreat from the reality. We can say when Wordsworth is praying to God, that great God, I had rather be a pagan, तो इसको वर्तमान से एक तरह का अवॉइड करना, भागना भी कह सकते हैं, बिकॉज ही इज थिंकिंग दैट इट इज़ बेटर इफ आई वुड हैव बीन ए पैगन. So we have to look at the rhyme scheme of the poem, which is visible to all of you in on your screen, and you can say you can see that in first line it is the last word is sown. So it we can place here a. Second last word of the second line is parse, then third is ours, then fourth is bone. Bone and soon are alike, so this will become a b b a. Then moan is again like soon and bone, so it is again a. Then ours is sounding like parse, so ours and parse mean it is b. Then flowers is again the same, then b. Then tune is again like moan, then it is again a b b a. Then rather b is uh, somewhat different, so it will be c. The rhyme scheme is of this line is c. Then next is again outworn, d. It is again new, c d. Then lee is like b, it is again c. Then forlorn, outworn, it is d, cd, cd. And next is again c. Lee and c are alike, so it is c. Then horn and forlorn, cd. Then rhyme scheme is ab, ba, ab, ba, cd, cd, cd. Now we will have a look of the questions and answers of this poem, which can be possibly asked in exams. So first question is, according to the poet, what is man's attitude to nature? प्रकृति के प्रति पोइट का क्या एटीट्यूड है? So we will say that the poet mourns the absence of the nature, and he is fond of the nature, and he recalls the nature that it should be present in modern lives. Second question is, who were Proteus and Triton? So we know that they were sea gods. Proteus was one of the earlier gods, and Triton is known as the messenger of sea gods. जो प्रोटियस हैं वो शुरुआती देवता माने जाते हैं, और ट्रिटन समुद्री देवताओं के दूत माने जाते हैं. Why does the poet want to become a pagan? Because the poet, if poet becomes a pagan, he will enjoy the company of nature, and he will see Proteus and Triton rising from the sea. जैसा कि पोएम में बताया गया है कि अगर पोइट कहते हैं कि मैं पैगन बन जाऊं, तब मैं देवताओं को देख सकूंगा समुद्र से ऊपर उठते हुए. What does the poet mean by stating the world is too much with us? The phrase "the world is too much with us" indicates that we have become materialistic, we have grown materialistic, we have forgotten the nature, We have given our hearts to materialism. We are in a race of earning more and more and spending more and more. This is meant by Wordsworth by the phrase, the world is too much with us. हम मटेरियलिस्टिक भौतिकतावादी हो गए हैं, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कमाने और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्पेंड करने की होड़ लगी है। वर्ड्सवर्थ ने इसी को वी हैव द वर्ल्ड इज़ टू मच विद अस कहा है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट वी आर आउट ऑफ ट्यून विद, हम किसके साथ लय में नहीं रहे हैं। अकॉर्डिंग टू वर्ड्सवर्थ वी आर आउट ऑफ ट्यून विद नेचर, हमारा प्रकृति के साथ सामंजस्य नहीं है। व्हाट इज द सॉर्डिड बोन, अकॉर्डिंग टू वर्ड्सवर्थ it is a sordid bone that we have given our hearts away from nature and we have given our hearts to money. It is a sordid bone for us according to Wordsworth. Who is a pagan according to the poet? Pagan कौन है? According to poet पैगन इज़ एन आउटवॉर्न क्रीड, जो शब्द वर्ड्सवर्थ ने यूज़ किए हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंग एक आउटडेटेड धर्म है पैगनिज्म। दोज हु वर वेरी नियर टू नेचर एंड दे वर्शिप्ड नेचर। व्हाट डज द पोइट क्लिम्स एंड व्हाट इज इट्स इफेक्ट्स ऑन हिम। पोइट किस चीज़ को देखता है और उसके क्या असर होते हैं उन पे। तो इन द पोएम इट इज़ टोल्ड टू अस दैट द पोइट क्लेम्स इफ he becomes pagan then he will be able to look at the sea gods and he will be a pagan and he will see the gods and then it will make him happier and less forlorn according to Wordsworth। वो पैगन बनना चाहेगा और तब वो देवताओं को देखेगा, ट्रीटन और प्रोटियस को, एंड इट विल मेक हिम लेस forlorn। What does the poet mean by world in the first line? पहली लाइन में वर्ल्ड का क्या मतलब है, संसार का क्या मतलब है। तो द वर्ल्ड इज़ यूज्ड फॉर ग्रोविंग मटीरियलिज्म, भौतिकतावाद, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वस्तुएं इकट्ठी कर लेना, उनको यूज़ करना। दिस इज़ कॉल्ड द वर्ल्ड इन द फर्स्ट लाइन, दिस इज़ कॉल्ड द मटीरियलिज्म। देन identify the rhyme scheme or used in the sonnet। इस sonnet में rhyme scheme क्या है, हमने देख ली थी rhyme scheme and it was A B P A A B B A C D C D C D। This was the rhyme scheme। What is rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme is the rhyme at the end of the lines in a poem। एक कविता के लाइन्स के अंत में जो लय बन रही है दूसरी लाइन के वर्ड्स को देख के, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड rhyme scheme। So we have seen that the world is too much with us is one of the many excellent sonnets Wordsworth wrote in the early 1800s। The poem is a criticism of material existence and it criticizes the insensitiveness of human beings towards nature The poet expresses his dislike for contemporary civilization and praises the primitive religion of nature worship. The speaker complains that the modern age has lost its connection to nature and everything meaningful. We are so preoccupied with material goods that we have lost touch with the spiritual, natural world. This idea finds expression in the famous lines which we have read, getting and spending. We lay vast our powers, little we see in nature that is ours. Uh, we have read these lines. The poet believes that we have given our hearts away in exchange for money and material things, कि हमने धन के पीछे इन सभी प्रकृति की चीज़ों को छोड़ दिया है. In the end, the speaker proposes a solution to the problem. He wishes he could be a pagan so that he could worship nature as God and gain spiritual solace. उसको कहीं पे मानसिक आध्यात्मिक शांति मिल सके. His thunderous great God indicates the power of his wish. In Christian England, one did not often wish to be a pagan. The poet would prefer to be in harmony with nature than follow a religion that separates him from nature. यानी कि वर्ड्सवर्थ ने ऐसे रिलीजन को प्रेफर किया है जिसमें इंसान को प्रकृति से जोड़ा जाता है, ना कि तोड़ा जाता है. तो in this poem we find the idea or the criticism of life. This is very important question often asked from this poem, that the sonnet is a criticism of life in this modern mechanized milieu. Comment on this assessment of the poem. ये क्वेश्चन है कि ये कविता जो है ये आधुनिक जीवन शैली का या मॉडर्न जो जीवन शैली है उसका विरोध करती है, कैसे कमेंट करें. तो दीज answers has been discussed in the poem. That Wordsworth dislikes the growing materialism. He says that we have lost our connections with nature. We are very much busy in getting and spending. We are wasting our powers. We never see what is ours in nature, and this is a sordid bone. This is a very bad thing which is related with the modern lifestyle. And he says that we have forgotten nature, and in the end what Wordsworth says, that great God, it means he is retreating from the present. He wants to avoid the present time and he wants to go away in the past when the creed which was called paganism, ऐसा धर्म जिसको paganism कहा जाता था, which was there, and he wants to be one among those pagans so that he could see the gods rising from the sea. At last, we can say that this sonnet presents the familiar Wordsworthian theme of communion with nature and states precisely how far the early 19th century was away from nature. The sonnet is really, really remarkable for its rhetorical force and its idea of criticism of modern day life which is away from nature. We can call this poem is a milestone in the romantic poetry. This is short poem. It is a sonnet, and sonnet is of 14 lines, but this is a magical poem, and it added unexpected fame to Wordsworth's poetic career, and he was known as a great poet of nature because he has mourned the absence of the nature in this poem. It is not only the presence which he celebrates, but he mourns the absence of nature in the present lives. So students of BA2 also have to transcribe the words. uh, so I am going to transcribe some words for them. They have to listen carefully. World, which has gone in this poem. World, middle है इसमें. Powers, powers, powers. Then nature, then hearts, hearts, then flower, then grant, then rather, then pleasant. So these are the words which we have to keep in the mind. These will be asked in the exams also, and we have to supply synonyms and antonyms for some words which are given in the vocabulary exercise, and these are we have to supply synonyms for some words like forlorn. It means abandoned or forgotten. Glimpses, synonym for glimpses is glance or view. Then there is a word great. Great, we can say that great means huge or comprehensive. Then next word is howling. Means blowing, making noise. Next word is powers. That means capacities. Then bare. That means uncovered. These words have gone into the poem. Next exercise in antonyms, that is vast. We have to supply antonym for this word, and useful is the antonym. Then give, antonym of give is take. Then sordid, sordid means bad. Then we have to supply antonym for it. It is noble or good. Sordid, antonym for sordid is good or noble. Then outworn, purana. Antonym for outworn is modern. Then it is make. Make means banana. We have to supply antonym for it, so it is destroy. Then the next word for our exercise is rise. We have to supply for this antonym, and antonym is decline, fall. So we have done almost all the poem, and its short and long questions, its vocabulary exercise, phonetic transcriptions of the words, and all students have to prepare all these things which have been told in this poem. And one thing the students have to remember, that we have to do all these exercises in every poems: vocabulary exercise, question answers, phonetic transcription, and long questions. These are desired for your exams. And अगर हमने ये सभी चीज़ें नहीं की तो कोई ना कोई चीज़ एग्ज़ाम में हमारे फुलफ़िल हम नहीं कर पाएंगे, किसी चीज़ का आंसर नहीं दे पाएंगे। तो सभी बच्चों ने क्या करना है, फोनेटिक ट्रांसक्रिप्शन करनी है, वोकेबलरी एक्सरसाइज करनी है जिसमें एंटोनिम सिनोनिम होंगे या प्रेफिक्स सफिक्स दिए होंगे किसी पोएम में। फिर क्वेश्चन आंसर करने हैं सभी के, छोटे भी हैं उसमें, बड़े भी हैं. So all have to prepare these things in every point. And at last, I would like to say thanks to all the viewers. And we have not to forget this poem, and we have not merely go through these poems, but we should also think about the theme of this poem, that why we have been away from nature, why we are going away from nature, and why we are growing materialistic. Thank you.